Hi, it's Scarlett, plant-based vegan, trying to live my best life, and I want to help you to live yours too. In this video, I'm going to share with you 4 easy peasy tips to get more vegetables and fruits into your diet. 4! You can do 4. I'm not giving you 40 or 140. 4 easy tips. So first of all, what is a serving of fruits and vegetables? Well, a serving of vegetables is basically half a cup of raw vegetables, not leafy greens, a half a cup of cooked leafy greens, or a whole cup of raw leafy greens. And leafy greens, that's your kale, your spinach, your Swiss chard, your collards, your mustard greens. And actually, you want to make sure that you're getting as many leafy greens because they are the most nutrient rich vegetables that we can get. So if you're not a fan of kale, then do spinach or Swiss chard. I love Swiss chard. And just cook it, and that way you're only getting a half cup of it. All right, that wasn't a tip. That wasn't a tip. So you should be getting, according to health.gov, 5 servings of fruit and vegetables every single day. And unfortunately, most Americans might get 1.5 servings or 1.5 cups if they're lucky. And of those, it's going to be like potatoes or tomatoes. And usually those potatoes come in the form of potato chips or French fries. And that is just loaded with saturated fat and salt, and it's just not good. All right. Are you ready for four easy tips? Okay. The first one is so obvious. Everyone should be doing it. And it's just making smoothies. Just blend it all together. Blend your greens, get some fruits in there, add some flaxseed, get some maple syrup. There are so many different recipes that you can be doing right now, and it's so easy. And it's just like a quick way that you can get your fruits and vegetables all in one serving. And if you make them ahead of time, like I have a Vitamix, so it makes 64 ounces. If you make 64 ounces, throw them into mason jars, keep it in the fridge. That way you could just grab and go. I find like the easiest way for me to get a lot of my fluids is when I'm in the car. Because when I'm driving to the office, it's a 30-minute drive, and I'm like, I haven't had any water today, or I haven't had my smoothie today. I make sure that I grab it, and then I just drink it on the way. And then by the time I get to the office, I really need to use the bathroom. All right, tip number 2, another super easy peasy way is just eat fruit. Yes, it's crazy. If you're someone who's not getting vegetables and you're like, I don't like vegetables, then at least eat fruit. Because you know what? You're still going to be getting some fiber. You're going to get vitamin C. You're going to get some other trace minerals. And, the nice thing about most fruit is that it comes in its own packaging. Bananas, apples, all you have to do is just rinse it off. You don't have to cook it. You don't have to do much to it. Another easy, just grab and go. So this is another one. And this is if you have, tip number 3. So this tip is, if you have kids who are picky eaters, or, you're just trying to figure a way how to hide the vegetables into your dinner, pasta. I don't know anyone who doesn't like pasta, specifically spaghetti. I don't want to know anyone who doesn't like spaghetti. I would look at you, I would side eye you, seriously, if you're like, I don't like spaghetti. I'd be like, who are you? Who doesn't like spaghetti? No one I want to know, that's for sure. I'm just kidding. Not really. Anyway, so yes, if you just chop up into tiny little bits your carrots, your kale, your spinach, adding more tomatoes, onions, garlic, whatever you can think of, just chop it all up, add it to the pasta sauce, get a really good marinara, and then just make it nice and chunky. And I'm not talking about going out and buying, pasta sauce that's already chunky with servings of vegetables, because you know what? That's going to come with a lot of sodium. Whenever you buy prepared food, they're already loading in sodium. So this way you get a good base marinara, and then you add in your own vegetables and you make it to your liking. That's the best part about cooking. But it's also super easy because the base has already been made. Chop it all up, and most kids love spaghetti. So that is an awesome, easy way for them and for your whole family to get your fruits and vegetables. Well, you're just getting vegetables. Well, no, tomato is a fruit. Yes. And so the last, fourth easy peasy tip of getting your fruits and vegetables, and I should just say plants. As a plant-based person, I'm not just looking at, am I getting my leafy greens, but there are other plants that you should be looking at also. And this is like, I'm just gonna throw it out there. I'm Caribbean. I cannot live without my rice and beans. Rice and beans, guys. Yes, they don't typically fall into the vegetable because beans, depending on what bean, it's a legume, and rice is considered a starch, but they're still plants. They still came from the ground, right? Rice and beans, and let's dispel the combining protein myth. It's a complete myth. I'll go into it at some point, but right now, it's not about making a complete protein. But beans, again, are highly nutrient rich. You're getting protein. For those of you guys who are like, where do you get your protein from? Well, beans have a lot of protein. You're also going to get a lot of iron, and you're getting fiber. And when you're eating meat, the things that you're not getting in meat are fiber. And when you're eating plants, so specifically beans, if you're going to compare that to meat, you're not getting cholesterol or saturated fat. So you're getting all the good stuff that meat can give you without all of the crappy stuff too. And then with rice, it's a starch, and some people are like, oh, but I'm looking at carbs and da-da-da. Well, if you research Dr. McDougall, he is a plant-based doctor, and he wrote the book Starchivore. He argues that human beings are made to eat starch. And you know what? With starches, specifically rice or potatoes, and I love me some potatoes, they're going to fill you up. You're going to get energy for most of the day. You're going to feel full without eating a lot of calories. And again, you're not going to be getting all of that extra saturated fat and cholesterol that comes with eating meat. And the other thing is, we need carbs. Carbs are important because our body uses carbs as energy. So you're eating fruits and vegetables, you're getting rice and beans and potatoes and all that other good stuff. Those are all good carbs that your body is going to use as energy throughout the day. And you're also going to find that you're not going to be as hungry. You're going to feel satiated. If you're eating nothing but lettuce all day and you're like, well, I tried to be a vegan, it didn't work for me. That's not being a vegan. You're being a very bad vegan. We're talking about being whole foods, plant-based, and trying to get as much amazing plants into your diet as closely as possible to nature. Those are my 4 tips. I think you can go home and do them right now. If you're not already home, go in that fridge and make your smoothie, chop up your vegetables, and if you don't have any, run thee to the supermarket and pick up your vegetables and start these tips. So I hope these helped, and I will check you out soon.